Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. Welcome back to more spin and go action, hot spin and go action right here on the channel. We're live once again, guys. Let's take a look at our results so far. All right, so welcome back to another day of looking at graphs. We are making some progress. We are playing more hands of poker. We've certainly played some more games of spin and goes. And I'm hoping that we are about to break free from this extended stretch of what I like to call the doldrums. Look it up. It's literary. And in general, guys, we're going to try and keep it focused. We're going to mark some hands for review. We're going to try and stick to the plan. When everything is going wrong, we're going to stick to the plan. We're going to trust the process. And I want to give a special shout out again, once more, to my good friend Specky DJ, who came on the stream yesterday for our review session. It was off the cuff. We didn't know it was going to happen, but it was a very nice change of pace. And it's lovely to bounce ideas off of like-minded poker players and friends as well. Lots of good analysis. If you guys missed that, it is, of course, on the VOD on Twitch. And it's also going to be on YouTube under the live section as well, if you want to give it a look. But I guess with no further ado, we're going to get into today's stream. But before we do that, I have some updates for you, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys will be aware, that there has been an extended period here where we have been having the same alert for pretty much every single kind of alert that is on the channel. And also all of the alerts are exactly the same sound. And I updated that today. I've done a couple things, and actually I still wanted to do one more thing today before we crack onto that. I forgot what I called this thing. Here it is. So what we got to do is, one, two. All right, cool. So with no further ado, let me introduce you to the new alerts, which are brand new for today, guys. How do I do this again? Alerts. Alert box. So let's say that we get a new follower. This is what you will see, and this is what you will hear. More importantly, this is what you will hear. Pretty sweet, right? Follower is in the actual alert itself. It's a little bit sort of hair metal. I think it sounds kind of cool. Subscription. Let's say that you've actually spent your hard-earned money to support me. Pathetic, lowly, spin and go grinder. You spent your hard-earned money to support me. This is what you get. This one's a bit more extended. Listen closely to the lyrics. It's party time! You just subscribed! Now your soul is all mine. I mean, that's really rad. Okay, can we get that one more time, guys? If you spend your hard-earned money, you deserve an extended alert, and that's what you're getting here.
It's party time. You just subscribe.
Now your soul is all mine. It's party time. You just subscribed, and now your soul is all mine. Very cool. Very cool. And a little bit scary. Okay, gifted subscription, same deal.
It's party time. You just subscribe. Now your soul is all mine.
It's rad. It's so good I did it twice. I mean, that makes sense anyway. Also, a little bit of more of a rare one. This is rare. We do get the occasional biddies donated, and I thought the biddies should get their own one. So you want to hear the biddy one, guys? This is how the cheering of any amount of bits sounds. Listen carefully to the lyrics.
You are the shit.
You are the shit.
Smash you to bits.
Smash you to bits. You are the shit. Smash you to bits. It's definitely not AI, Tom.
You are the shit. Smash you to bits.
No, I recorded this myself. This was me on guitar, lead vocals. I would give you a rendition right now. A little bit of a sore throat. You are the shit. Smash you to bits. Perfect. Also, you guys will like the raid. Check this one out. This is the raid alert.
Let's get paid. This is a raid. You got it made. This is a fucking raid.
Nice. Pretty rare, but, you know, we did sneak in a little F-bomb because it is really cool when people support your channel.
Let's get paid.
Let's get paid.
This is a raid.
This is a raid. You've got it made. This is a fucking raid. Let's go. I love that. Very good. I'm pretty sure that's all we got. Oh, Hype Train's kind of fun, actually. I think Hype Train might actually be the classic alert.
Does he ever lose?
It's a good one for that. It's a good one.
This guy. Does he ever lose?
I think that's a good Hype Train. I think it's good. Anyway, we got some new alerts, guys. I actually did a little bit of homework today with some admin bits and bobs. I am also very proud to announce that I am now officially partnered with Hand to Note. This was a completely organic one as well, guys. Very often, people who work in the industry will reach out to these companies that they're using. Hand to Note actually contacted me and said, hey, we'd like to work with you. So now if you are interested in getting your hands on one of these bad boys, there is a 10% discount code NWTV if you'd like to get involved. I don't anticipate many of you guys are gonna jump on and snap this up immediately. But in the event in the future you want to take your poker more seriously, and you would like to track your results in the same way I do, and of course also do all your marked hands and like follow the process. I do honestly believe that good tracking software is extremely, extremely important. I also have another very exciting opportunity regarding trackers that I'd like to discuss with you guys in future as well when we get there. But I had to do some admin this morning. I got this on my social media and stuff like that. It's got a strong black flying V. That's exactly right. A little Gibson flying V. Yeah. A little classic Gibson black flying. It's definitely got this vibe for sure, right? It's definitely got classic Gibson flying V chug energy. Anyway, I suppose we should play some poker. Let's play some poker today. Oh, let's not play for $250. Whoops. I've done that twice so far this year, by the way, which is reflected in our total count, by the way. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Thank you, Tom. I'm glad you approve, buddy. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to sub now when you get this?
It's party time. You just subscribe. Now your soul is all mine.
That is really saucy. That is a saucy little riff. Come on, guys. I know it's AI generated, but you know, come on, work with me here. I like that one a lot. So the the really cool thing about that one is whenever I do these little jingles, I don't exactly know why. It might be, I mean, I think it is intentional. I don't think it's a bug or anything, but you pay for credits on Suno and you can generate songs, and the songs take, whatever you generate, one song, one credit, whatever it is. But that's usually when you generate full length songs. That could be anywhere between a minute and like 10 minutes. I've actually accidentally generated some very, very long music, which was not my intention. Um, whenever you generate those short little alerts, what's very cool is because it's so short, it actually refunds you your credits. So if you were just in the biz of making little jingles for people, I legitimately think that you could, pay for 1,500 credits and smash out a bunch of those, charge people, and get most of them refunded. There's a little hack there. Definitely a little hack there. So the Ace 10 we're going to mark for review here in a second. I would strongly anticipate that we are probably supposed to do something like this just to protect the equity of our hand. Undersea Monkey, when I misclick fire the 250s, did I win? I did not. However, I got really unlucky. I actually posted about it. I posted, so I accidentally regged 2. I managed to unreg one of them. But then when the other one fired, I actually ended up getting it in good, like queens against ace 5 for the win. And it would have been like it was like a 3x or a 4x as well. It was like a big one. And I got very unlucky not to get rewarded on that. Yeah, we're going to call queen 10 of hearts here, guys. It's just a hand with too much equity to fold here, I think, for such a small amount. We certainly will start folding hands like queen 10 of hearts here to unknown players. If we're looking at, more big blinds, but it's like 6 bigs. It's just, we're giving up too much here. 10s into queens, obviously, just bullshit. It's not bullshit.
It's party time! You just subscribed! Now your soul is all mine!
Nice little outro as well. Love it. All right, bit unlucky there. Pretty good game for us overall. The queen 10 was kind of whatever. It's neither here nor there. And ultimately, the blind v blind 10s into queens is unavoidable, especially at that shallow stack depth. I sense a side job that might become my full-time job, honestly, Tom. I'm not sure if I'm cut out for all this poker stuff. I gotta find something else to chew on. Oh, speaking of which, guys, by the way, do you like my my gentleman's pipe? It's really smoky. I don't know if I told you guys this story, but the other day I was watching, the other day I was watching some YouTube, and there was a Tolkien scholar. I forget his name now, but he's a bit of a legend. He looks exactly like what you think he looks like, by the way. And he was a big pipe smoker, and they were smoking a pipe, and they were talking about Lord of the Rings. And I really was like, I really want to just hold and smoke some pipe tobacco. I want to go and sit under. He did a bunch of videos about the various pipes that he smokes and the tobacco that he likes and blah blah blah. So I ended up getting this lovely little piece here. Comes with its own carrying case. And occasionally, myself and Ruthie will sit on the balcony, and she'll have a cigarette. I'll have a little pipe. It's very, very relaxing. It's very cool. I don't promote smoking, by the way, guys, but I think the occasional pipe is acceptable, especially when it is as good as this stuff. It's party time. We're all in. All right, 10 in a tray. We're probably pretty close to a fold here, but let's try and sneak in a limp. Six tray can come out at the stack depth. Queen and a 5. What's up, Jazera? Good to see you, mate. He goes, 10-10 into queen is indeed some serious bullshit. At least it was only for a small amount. I'm feeling good about it today. Undersea Monkey says, I also keep an old pipe under my desk for when I'm in meetings. Beautiful. Jack 8 into King 8 here is also bullshit. Jack 7. All right, 8 tray comes out here. Jack 8, mark hand. What was the other hand we wanted to mark earlier? The Ace 5 we can mark as well, but that's almost definitely a push. We'll mark that one as well. What was the other one we wanted to mark? The 10s, Queen 10. Let's actually do some deeper study on that. The Ace 10, mark hand 2. So we got a couple hands already marked. The Ace 10 of hearts is one that I think we play fine here. We were looking at that exact spot yesterday. Well, not that exact spot with Specky. Cool. Six, 4. Good. Okay, mark this one too. I don't think we ever missed that spot. Really quickly, I want to look at the 6-4 before we continue. Let me close stars really quick. All right, so really quick, guys, we're gonna close the poker stars. I'm gonna fire up the NickWalshTV chart pack here really quick. I'm just looking at this really basic one. I shoved 4 big blinds here. I think this is just a jam. I'm almost positive this is fine. Heads up, small blind, 5 big blinds effective. Okay, so if it's still included since it's still included here at 5, it's definitely going to still be in 4, so that's fine. Let's unmark that one. Cool, let's fire up stars once more, make sure everything else is closed. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to open up poker stars again. We'll go again on the 25s. What's up, Bistro? Good to see you. It is very similar to yours, but without the case. So we've got, I say case, it comes with this nice little carrying pouch from a company called Frederick Tranter, which I think actually makes some pretty nice sort of entry level. I'm not really not that much of an expert, but I believe they're kind of entry level pipes. I'll never fill mine. I just use it to add emphasis. So I was watching this guy's video, and he suggested that we try a brand called I think it was called Cavendish Black Cherry, something like that. And obviously it's an aromatic tobacco. It has sort of dark cherry notes. And it is actually very, very nice. Like, you know, the actual aroma of the smoke itself isn't like bonfire. It's like sort of this like warm sort of cherry flavor, but not like sweet and like gross and nasty. Like, it's not like flavoring. It's just the actual natural sort of scent of the tobacco. It's really nice. But I also find that after I've smoked like 1 or 2 pipes, I put it down, and the smell of the actual pipe itself afterwards, like when it's still got the smoke in it, is pretty like... That's how I know I'll never get hooked on the old pipe smoking. Okay. Couple games there, not so hot. Not really too much to report, though. I mean, we can mark the Ace-8 for review as well, but that's definitely a push. Unknown player 3x multi. Let's try and limp here, and let's get the Ace-8 in for review as well, just for the sake of it. A couple very easy lookups later on if we want to do some more study. I'm pretty sure Ace-8, Ace-9 are snap jams. Ace-8, Ace-9, Ace-10, all snap jams, I believe. I wouldn't be surprised if you can deviate a smidge, but generally speaking, you need not in the 2x and 3x multipliers in particular. All right, one sec, guys. I got to get this on charge. Speaking of which. Oh, that's why I haven't got any alerts. That's why. We can sneak in a limp here as well against this guy. Did actually just jam over a limp just one moment ago. Try and get to showdown, I suppose. Please don't have a 7 and 9. That would be annoying. Yep, that is annoying. I think we also get away with just betting that hand at some point there too, but it's seems perfectly fine just to check it down as well. I don't think we want to turn it into a bluff that aggressively necessarily. Call. Okay. Yeah, let's run that one. Extra dead big blind there as well. The guy has ace jack for one big blind as well. Happy days. What's up, Pure Gill? Hello, Monfrere. Are we winning already? Not yet, buddy. Not yet. We have to have the best hand in order to do that, which has not occurred just yet. I think calling here is okay. I think shoving is probably also fine in this particular setup. We want to mark down the 3x open ace king though. This is obviously another very clear setup here. Not anything we're going to really change apart from perhaps flatting the ace king there. We do want to note down the size thing though, because that will come into other aspects of the game. That was actually not the shallowest spot. So he starts the hand at 13. And we just want to note down the sizing here, right? If he's going to keep using the 3x size, if this turns out to just be ace deuce, fine. And then this is probably another example of 3x open raise 4 effective was ace deuce off x1. King 4 will just run against this guy in the 3x multi. Ace jack is a good hand. 3x open. Okay, not a 3x open, but we do want to have a large ISO here. This is part of our large ISO range we've been discussing recently. And then once we arrive on this flop with the ace of diamonds in your hand, with the jack in our hand, just the one big blind is fine. Okay, back up to 9 bigs. Let's just bet this one. We were talking about this one yesterday with our friend Specky as well. Honesty Monk says, I can squeeze one more spin in before my first afternoon meeting. I've had BC Cesar AK at every damn table so far. I understand, man. He's been putting in more volume recently for sure. Oh, it's Jack 10 directly into Queens. Still a way out. Unlucky, sir. We've run into a lot of big pairs already today, guys. We have run into a lot of big pairs already. Trap. Trap successful. Going broke with King Jack here is totally fine, but I think you want to raise this not all in. I think you're wasting a very, very strong playable hand from out of position when you're jamming. You're not going to get enough. You're not going to win enough with that hand if you just shove it. Anyway, that was a bit of a roller coaster. Definitely not a good game for us in terms of EV. Having said that, pretty much none of the games we've played so far have been particularly good for EV because we keep running into monsters when we're shoving. Good luck in your games, Undersea Monkey. 4 of hearts, deuce of clubs. No, thank you. No, thank you. I want to hear it one more time, guys.
It's party time! You just subscribed! Now your soul is all mine!
What people don't realize it is in fact in the terms and conditions. Whenever you subscribe to my channel, you do in fact sign away your soul to myself, much like the devil, albeit not officially Satan himself. 10 big blinds with the king of the pokers. The most poker of all kings. Cool. All right, let's do one of these here. Let's try and do one of these again. Top pair. We've seen this pattern before, haven't we, chat? We've seen this pattern before. Instant delivery, unlucky Nick. This was exactly identical to the hand we played yesterday, where we he half pots and he has kings. You can see that he's actually doing it in a more balanced fashion, which is good to know because we definitely got it in on both occasions. Best Faustian pact ever. Very good, mate. I approve of the Faust reference. Very good. All right, let's have a little bet here on the turn. Okay, we're going to bomb the river now. We are getting way out of line there, by the way. That is way off piece. We've taken that pot to an extreme. It's party time. You just subscribed. Now your soul is mine. Should we try again? Oh, I tried to bet 2 on the turn. I tried to bet 2 on the turn. It would have worked, I think. The idea was to bet 2 on the turn and then bet the river again if they called, but I misclicked. Probably not the end of the world, though, to be honest. This one is probably good enough against Alex. See it. Let's see it. Oh, nice. All right, heads up for the 6 big blinds on the left. Oh, never mind. Not heads up, excuse me. We'll run this one. I'm going to mark the queen deuce suited here, but I think this is fine when we have one player effectively sitting out. Might be a bit wide. It's party time. Really confused what Alex is entering this pot with here. Can 3 of diamonds take this one down? It's possible. Wow, Jack of diamonds, no value bet. Cool. That could have cost us some money there. It definitely could have cost us a few bucks. Okay, everyone's got a monster. We've run into queens 4 times today already. Is that the 4th time we've literally shoved directly into queens? So against this guy specifically, I'm going to make a move here. Pretty good move, I should add. Very, very excellent, excellent pro poker move. Give him all the rope here. Give him all the rope. That is 100% accuracy on the turn. It's party time. One 100% accuracy. What is this? This doesn't exist. Oh my gosh. CO 12 must have a 3 here. Minimum of 10, could be a 3. That's how strong that is. Oh, there you go. Perfect. What is this? What is this nonsense? What is this? Oh, mate. No, 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 no. Limp the button with queens, overbet the pot. Gets called, can't fold on the 10-10-4-4. 10-10-3-3. Do not min raise fold, mate. Tom says, do you think you'll head back to Vegas again, Nick, or do you think that was the last trip for you? I mean, probably not lifetime, but like, you know what I would like to try, Tom, actually, on that note? I would really like to go to Florida and play cards in Florida. The time zone is a lot closer. From what I understand, you know, being on the beach obviously makes a big difference. The weather is still really lovely. Apparently the games are really good. Apparently the casino is quite nice. Unlucky there. Next game. Sorry, guys. I'm just chatting to somebody on YouTube. Shout out to Ninja, by the way. Thank you for the kind words. Okay, let's try again. Let's try and do that again, guys. Let's try that again. Sorry, guys. I am on task. I am typing away to a friend on a new friend on YouTube. Straight to the nuts. Nobody ever has anything other than ace, king, or queens in this game. Oh, chips in the middle. It's a shape that I want. Shout out to Hernanles, by the way. Hernanles. Akuma says there is a chance to meet that legendary guy Florida Man as well. I mean, also a chance to wrestle alligators time. Yeah, good point. There is a chance for me to become Florida Man. True. We have a straight draw, ladies and gentlemen. We have a straight draw. Let's go. Can we get there, please? That one. Check. Okay, cool. Oh, well, I don't imagine we're allowed to check now. I don't think we need to bet particularly big, though, either. Something like that's probably fine. Nice call. All right, we also looked at something like this yesterday as well. Let's see if we can take it away. Nice. King 9 suited. King 7 can run here as well. We're 11 big blinds deep. Let's go, 9-8 of diamonds. This isn't a very good hand, chat. I've suddenly gotten the habit of texting everybody instead of talking. I don't know why I'm doing this. Sorry, guys. Come on, King 6. This is basically the nuts here. Basically. If he shut. God, you can't be doing that, mate. You can't be doing that. That's really annoying. That's actually tilted the shit out of me. Is this really not the right color? Is it usually this one? Okay, whatever. The yellow-green is the same color. My eyes just can't see it. Okay. This is probably fine. He can still call us with an 8 or a deuce on the turn, obviously, but I think we deny a fair amount of equity. We can still get called by draws here that we have beat with the jack high as well, so we might deny a smidge more by making that cute little bet turn. We will just have the best hand a lot of the time. That's why it's kind of a weird place to bet, but Tom says, right-click on the name and see if you can see yellow or green next to each other. Do you see any difference? So that to me is yellow. Okay. Is this one green, Tom? So this looks more like a really brilliant like lime green. And that one looks like yellow. But if you flash those two colors next to each other, I can't tell a difference. Those two look very similar. This one looks more orangey, but like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. The bright color, if it's not blue, we're only using two colors. We have red as well, but red is more specific. Feels like work. Now I'll break it in. This one is gonna be probably a call if that guy folds. You will note that he has me dominated again if I call. Still getting used to the new keyboard. It definitely sounds good and it feels good, but the presses are a little bit more different from my last keyboard where I was like, I'm sure the audience probably appreciates that more. Okay, so the next thing I got to resolve, guys, is I want to try and sort this mic out in a way where you're not going to get as many clicky sounds And I do have a very nice brand new mouse, which actually has the buttons that I want, but it is quite clicky on stream when I've heard it back. Difficult to get a like whisper quiet click and also have the buttons, the extra buttons that I have on this Naga. Or is this a Viper? Can't remember. Sensitive Tony says, I study GTO colors. There you go. There you go, mate. You got it. Come on, let's go. Come on, Queen 10. You got this. Next game, please. Next game. Next game. Next game. I'd like to play my next game, please. In fact, you know what? I'd like to play some more games, please. Let's play some more tables here. This is boring. Losing pots is boring, and I'm not interested in any of that. I'm not interested in losing pots right now. Thank you. I've decided I'm not interested in losing any more pots. Yeah, but Ninja, that's okay. You can always travel for those. I do commentary for a series in the Philippines. Actually, it's all across Asia, but they host a very good one, a very big one in the Philippines for the APPT. In fact, we're doing commentary live on PokerStars in the next couple weeks coming up for APPT. If you'd like to come and join us then, guys. Nice. Oops, 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 oops. It's annoying. Yeah, Tom, to be fair, I am typing to my friend over on YouTube just because it is trickier to navigate. But yeah, Ninja, don't forget, if you just travel a smidge, there's some really good spots. I mean, Philippines is hosting APPT events, which are very, very good. I've done commentary on that for 3 years now. 4 years, maybe? Maybe 4 years. King 7 of clubs is a monster. Get out of my house, bruv. Can we catch a break today? That's what I'm talking about. That's a bit more like it. Thank you, sir. Let's do this one here. Oops, sorry guys. Keep doing that. Queen 9. Yeah, sorry guys. I'll try and talk more and tap less. That's not very conducive to a stream, is it? This isn't gonna run here. We're getting tiny 3-bet buy for lulls, which is a very rare occurrence. Trickier to navigate my hands across the keyboard when I'm trying to play 2 tables and talk at the same time. Oh, there's a deuce on this flop. Wait, there's a 3 on the turn. What is going on over here, mate? So on the right-hand side, guys, we're calling with any 2 cards. On anything under 2.6 effective, we have to call. He has 9s, which is just hilarious. Good river, though. All right, we got a hundo on the right-hand side. 2 of the regs playing against us here. Wonderful stuff. And it just says, I want to hit up Taiwan at some point this year. The games look pretty good out there. I would love to try that, yeah. The games in general seem very good. Pretty much everywhere. I think you probably want to do something like this. Cool. Yeah, Busto Batman, biggest spin was 150K. That was in like 2017 or something like that. There is a screenshot of it somewhere. That was the biggest spin I've ever played for. The next biggest was 6,000, I think, but I've played a ton of spins in between on stream. The spin that I hit was hit before. The spin that I hit in 2017 was before I was a PokerStars ambassador as well. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people assume that's like it's like a rig thing. It's not a rig thing. Nice. We do actually get a little bit off the king of poker here. He calls us with ace high for the small bets. Put the jam in here. Put the jam in. In fact, let's play this one slightly differently today. Let's play that one as a limp there on the right in the hundo. Taiwan would be really sick, though. I mean, I want to spend more time in Asia in general, but I want to go out for like an extended amount of time. And at the moment, obviously, I'm grinding streaming and also my commentary responsibilities for PokerStars at EPTs, APPTs, UKIPTs, PokerStars Opens, all that good stuff as well. Obviously means it's better for me just to be in this neck of the woods. So when he says, I don't memorize language, I memorize color. That way I can go through red, blue, yellow, green, blue, and get the full palette of emotions. Good. Queen and a 5. Let's go. Can we defeat the one and only King of Poker heads up for $100 US? It's a good question. I'm not sure it's ever truly happened before. All right, 7 and a deuce, not against this player specifically. $15 is fine. Cool. We're just going to keep clicking buttons. I'm just going to stop looking at the outcomes, guys. You tell me if I'm winning or not, okay? You tell me if I'm winning or not, chat. I've resigned myself to just clicking buttons. I'm not going to look at the outcomes. I'm only gonna make the calls. For example, I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happened. I just called with ace 8 and I saw it was the best hand. That's all I care about. Queen 6 gonna go in here. Can we win $100 off of the king himself? The king of all the pokers. Doesn't get much better than that, I gotta say. 100 USDs. It's not just $100. It's $100 from the king. A poker player that I respect very much. And it's annoying. These guys and their poker skills. Get out of my life. Life was so much simpler when people were bad at poker. Life was so much simpler when people just sucked at poker. $10-5-0 spades. No thanks. Queen 4-0 spades. I'm gonna stop closing this thing. Not quite in range here. Okay. Pocket kings. Pocket kings on the right is a good hand. Ideally, we would just see this guy rip the chips in here. That would be very cool. We don't see any of that. And the 10-9 is a very clear push, blind v blind on the left. Queen 8 is a fair call. I think the Queen 8 call is probably textbook, but we do have two very live cards, so we lose very little EV in the exchange. Let's keep blasting. Cool. All right, 3x multi. I'm not sure why I'm wearing this robe around my neck like a scarf, but it's somewhat comforting. Just looks like a design. It looks like a style choice. This is actually just my literal bathrobe on the back of this chair for some reason. No, that one comes out. This one is not quite there as well. This one is fine. That was my move. That was my move, sir. Oh, nice. Spared me. No, he didn't. He would have hit the ace. And the tray. Go on, put the chips in, buddy. Put the chips in. You know you want to shove. Let's go the tens. Let's go the tens. I was we played a little bit with this guy now. I'm not really sure what to make of this player. But if we've played that many hands with him, if we've played this many hands with him and he is not currently labeled, usually an indication he's probably pretty solid. Nothing of note to have marked yet usually means solid play. Hey, what's up, Naza on YouTube? How you doing, buddy? Let's overbet this turn. Naza, how you doing over there on YouTube? Says, good morning. Is the Team Boss website down? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't manage Team Boss. They are good friends of mine, but I'm not sure if they're not sure what they're up to just today. It could be that that's the case. But I wouldn't know, I'm afraid. If you ask those guys directly, you can go on their Discord channel. You can check them out there if you want. We get the Queen 9 in good. Look at the turn. Look at the river. Let's go. Let's go. That's a bit more like it. What's up, Martin Samuels? Good to see you. Naza, do you have a link to their Discord channel? You can ask them there. Sorry, I'm just trying to play these tables. One sec. Let me see if I can find it for you, buddy. This is fine. This one is a shove wrist limp. We can fold to the jam though. Let's see, Team Boss. Queen deuce, fine. Let's bet flop here. Getting check raised here is kind of annoying. Here you go. Copy. Ace King is fine. Okay, here you go, Naza. There's a link to follow Team Boss. Smeeble, thank you very much, mates. Excuse me. This is not the right table. Don the Dude, thank you very much. How you doing today, mates? Did not get there. I'm going to mark the 6-3 suited. I'm pretty sure we are shoving that hand. It's definitely going to be Nash. But I think what's going to happen is... I think what's going to happen on that board is we are going to... Or in that setup, we might end up limping some of the weakest parts of our Nash jams. I think we're going to go like this. Cool. I just started work, so working and lurking. Good. I'm glad that your work from home now involves a little bit of poker action. I like that, man. That's very good. As it should be. The next game is what I need. We're not folding yet. 2.5 at that stack depth, though, is quite a lot, actually. This might just be a fold on the left. For lulz, opens to 2.5 big blinds at this stack depth is Interesting. I don't know why. I really want to shove this for some reason. I mean, how much fold equity do I really have here anyway? Not really. Come on. 10. 10. So we marked the 6-3 suited to go into our review later on. The Queen 5 I want to mark there as well. I'm pretty sure that'll make the cut, but they might mix in some limping and stuff like that there as well, but I think the jam is going to be Nash, so that's fine. I just want to double check. Queen Jack suited, probably just a pre-flop jam as well, but if we are going to play it as a min raise, I think we always stack. Where's the Queen 8? The Queen 4 blind, Queen 7 blindy blind. Cool. Everyone always has the best hand. Everyone's always got a monster. Everyone always has a monster. Pretty big flop. Mark hand. What's up, Mac? Good morning. Good to see you, buddy. Ace King of Spades here. Look at this. How does one even miss? How does one miss? I'm gonna check the turn. This is the most deceptive check of all time. We're gonna try and catch a bluff here. We're gonna try and get him to value at some stuff. Oh, checks again. Okay. We'll do a NickWalshTV special overbet special. NickWalshTV overbet special. Okay, we're going to try something here on the left-hand side, guys. We're going to bet this, and we're going to shove the river. Didn't have to. Okay, this is going to be a raise 2-3. Yes, King 8 is a monster. 5-4, yes. 3, 4, 5, 6. Might bet this one, might check this one. I think I prefer a check here. We pick up additional equity on the turn, which is always nice. When they check turn, I think we're allowed to start getting a little bit more creative. I don't think he has an 8 or a 7 that often. So overbetting turn does clear out a lot of hands that probably should still call while also building a pot for our up and down / double gut shot situation. Don the dude, what's up, dude? Hello. Okay, quick call there. Definitely could still have ace queen for sure. Definitely could still have some king high, queen high kind of things in here. We are concerned about 5x, ace x still against this particular player. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is still, I mean, 3, 4 is still in there as well. I'm not going to be a hero against this player so far. We don't have any reason to believe that that's a spot where he bluffs often. We're doing well with the other parts of our game so far. King 4, let's play this one slow. Bet this one again. Pretty similar to the previous spot, the high, low, low. Deuces directly into 8s feels pretty sad. But, you know, what are we going to do? Just always getting cold decked every day. Take that one completely out. This will just be the full 5x ISO. do this one. This one, I think we might actually have to spin, guys. This one's probably getting a bit too close to folding equity in a 2x multi. 60-40 is okay in this spot when we need to really race to get chips. And then we'll run the 8-9 suited here, of course. Very silly spot, very silly indeed. Jable. Oh, love a Jable. Absolutely love a Jable there. That's right, Mac. It was almost the Royale. It was almost the Casino Royale. It was very nearly the Casino Royale. Come on, baby. 9. Get out of my life. This is a very silly spot indeed. Sorry, guys. I keep clicking the wrong share. There it is. Casino Royale. Might check raise this flop if there's a bet. Definitely going to lead turn, I think. So I think a 10 or a jack value bets this river on the left, but the 4 can still call. So we're going to try and get value from the 4. I'm going to trap ace jack against MeWe over here. Nice. Can we get the trap of 2 work effectively? It does pretty much work, assuming that he holds. King and a 4 here. We can certainly consider shoving this. I think it's probably on the bottom end though. King 5 will definitely go in this spot. I think we can probably just consider betting this one pretty often, particularly on the rainbow texture. Let's go ahead and make this one 3.5. Getting min check raised by Alec Chow on this texture is definitely annoying. Lovely river, really, really good stuff there. Top poker run out. Top Poker runouts. I told you guys I'm not looking at the results anymore. I'm just clicking buttons. All I'm going to do is click the buttons. All I'm going to do is click the buttons, and then you guys can tell me if I played good or not. Hodl. $50. $50 in the bag. King 6 has got to go over here now as well for sure. King 6 is such a monstro. We lose anyway. Close. Play. We trap the monstro. Not too many maneuvers. Pocket sevens is a huge pair. Pocket sevens, world-class pair, can't fold. Max says, I looked up the 8-7 suited shove you did in the small blind a few games ago. 10 big blinds effective. I saw... I always have trouble pulling the trigger on those hands. He had King 5 suited with the call. Correct play from both. Yeah, definitely approved. That's, yeah, slam dunk for sure. For sure. I mean, like, I get excited about those spots, to be honest. That's kind of how high value they are. Speaking of high value. Well, right, but you'll always get called by better, Mac. Like, if you're shoving 8-7 suited, you're never getting called by worse, or very, very, very rarely, right? The point is that you're going to get enough folds to make it a profitable overall move, like, from the range in its entirety. Do you know what I mean? We're going to do a big ISO here, guys. Start with the 4X. Sixes is a big winner over here most of the time. We got him here. I said we got him! Not Queen Jack wins. That's just not right, chat. That is not right. We put him in the bin and everything. We got him all the way into the bin and we got punished. That's it. I don't care. I'm not looking at the results anymore. I'm not looking at the graph. I'm not going to look at the graph. I'm not going to look at who wins the hands. I'm just going to get the chips in good, and the rest is out of my hands. The rest is whatever. I'm not going to look at the EV. I just know that what I'm doing is going to make it. All right, let's play poker. Quads is good. Maxi, I didn't even know I had quads. I don't care. I'm not looking. I'm not interested. I don't care. I'm just pressing buttons today. I'm just going to keep clicking buttons until something changes on this website. No problem, Mac. All good. I'm here for you, buddy. 50x. Yeah, we're not playing that against this guy. We will, however, be playing this hand. We will also be playing this hand. We're straight aura farming with these jams over here. Come on now, don't be silly. Let us go heads up. That's it. Thank you. Very kind. Now heads up against the player that's limping too much. We're going to try and do something here. Let's try again. 20%. Oh my God. He called us. He called us with no hand, no draw, and we got the same draw on the turn. I mean, obviously I had more draw than he did, but that's really hilarious. That is really hilarious. Do you know how hard we would have wrecked this guy if he doesn't literally turn a club draw when we turn a club draw? By the way, perfectly executed check raise. Okay, I'm gonna give you some credit there. We will be taking full charge of this one though, I'm afraid. We will be taking full charge of this train. Yes, mate. Yes, absolutely deserved. Absolutely deserved. Absolutely deserved, my friend. Quads is very, very good. Nice hand, mate. Well done. I'm proud of you. Very, very, very impressed, mate. Well done. Very good. He flops quads when we make top pair as well. It's just poetry in motion, man. Poetry in motion. Shit, I gotta stop doing that. That is like literally hilarious. That is really, really, really funny. He did have backdoors, it's true. Yeah, fair play. Is there ever an argument to just folding 70 soft pre with with both having 15 bigs and never limp that? I mean, probably it's okay. Against some players, you're going to leave money on the table, though. We try to take charge, but when he flops quads, it's becoming trickier for us, right? Hilarious. Actual comedy. Actual comedy. Actual comedy. What's up, Kaz? How you doing? Are we up or down? So far today, I haven't looked. I'm not going to look till the end of the session. I think we're actually up a smidge, though. In cash, at least. This spot is annoying. We certainly can have the best hand here. It's not ridiculous. I don't know if the subtlety here is lost. Hello, John Edwards. I think we're very slightly up, Kaz, if I'm not mistaken, but we started off pretty strong. We're not doing so hot now, just for a minute or two. I think we're winning a smidge of EV as well, believe it or not. Maybe not. Queen 10 is good. Steal. Famous NickWalshTV micro steal. Gonna try and take it away on the turn if I can. And I might try this now as well. I think this is a pretty cool way to play the hand. Unless your opponent literally rivers the pair that you're trying to represent. What a fucking cool hand of poker that was. What an absolutely stellar situation for our opponents. What an absolutely mega spot for our friend. Sitting there with the float, improving into the nuts. Get a little bit of justice here for the ace-9. Ace-9 gets a little justice. I like justice. Heads up for the hundo. Go on then. $10x multi on the right-hand side, chat. Pretty bad setup against these two players specifically, but this is another chance to improve on our 10x market. On our notes that we've been keeping, we have we're keeping note of every game that we play that is for 10x or greater, and we're keeping all that data saved up so we can take a look at it later on and review how much we miss reg speed spin and goes. Shed a little tear for him. Hey, what's up, NickWalshTV? Good to see you, buddy. We are actually playing for about 350 bucks here. You've arrived just in time. Got a 10x multi here and a 4x over here. And we are hopefully going to be taking these guys to a little spot I like to call Value Town. A little town I like to call Value Town. Let's start with a bigger bet here. We'll just bet the 1 on Jack, Jack, 8s. Gil, are we crushing it yet? We will be soon, mate. When we stack these two, or these three. Nice. We get it in good against the King 9 of Diamonds for the hundo. Trip deuces ruined by a diamond on... I'm so shocked. This is such a shocking outcome for us, chat. I can't believe this. I'm so utterly shocked that we're out here making these moves, making the correct plays, and still getting punished. Oh! Boom. Wrecked him back. What's up, Zintex? Has anyone doubted my words? Exactly. I walk in, you spin a 10x, instantly you're welcome. I mean, what can I say? Thank you, Decaf. We're getting the ace queen all in here for chonks and chonks and chonks. And we are officially chip leading the 10x for now. We're going to play the queen jack here as a limp. 4 tray heads up over here. We'll take to a flop. No improvement. We're definitely not limp folding it, right? Not the best flop for us. Probably a flop that is better for us than our opponent, though. We need to consider that too. Value Town is better than Pound Town. That is true. That is true. I don't know if we have enough ammunition here, guys. I'm going to let that one go. We're going to play the Queen 7 as a limp on the left. Queen tray is not going to go in there. Now, 2 overcards to the tray and the deuce. The king being somewhat capped here for our opponent's check back range. I think I really like a bet on this in this spot. In fact, I probably bet turn, bet flop, bet turn quite often. Value Town, very similar to my trademarked Flavor Town. Pocket 8s for the hundo. Come on now, we can get the whole lot here. Decaf! Decaffeinated poker! All right, we got one, chat. We got one. Let's focus up on the 10x now. The King of Poker has been knocked down a peg. That's always a good start for our win rate. Not playing heads up against the literal King of Poker is usually a good thing. We managed to win a 10x yesterday, I think, as well, if I'm not mistaken. going in. Queen and a deuce. So don't forget, guys, if we come at least second, we get a little bit back here. I think we win $50 if we come second. $50 for second, 200 for first. AK, we'd love to get some action. Any 3-bet jammer is totally acceptable. Julian does seem to like these really aggressive, big, bold moves pre. I have noticed this. This guy is Supernova, not Supernova, Select Plus winner, same thing. And he does like to take these moments, these big, bold plays. Can we cooler King of Poker one time? Can we cooler the King of Poker just one single time in the big multi? Ace King with the King of Diamonds here, by the way. Ace King with the King of Diamonds, by the way. Big bet definitely better there. We want to polarize. We also want to try and pin him down if he has a weak king too, which can still be played that way. Smoking Branch, welcome. Good to see you, mate. Get out of here. It's got to go. Same hand, huh? If he pushes here, we're going to have to call, guys. I don't love it, but this is the King of Poker we're talking about here. This is the official King of Poker, and Queen Jack is so far within a call here, reg v reg. If we fold this, we can never respect ourselves tomorrow. See what I'm saying? This is how closely matched this game is. We're all calling and shoving with the same hands. There you go, Tom. 7 deuce in the bin. You see it? Literally just folding 7 deuce. This is very similar to the previous spot. This is just a mandatory push. Going to take that down pre most of the time, maintain our stack. The 10s, we're going to play as a min raise here. Very pleased to get this in against pocket 8s once in a while. That'd be nice. Can the King of Poker find the jam? Please, pocket 10s. Don't be stupid. Decaf! Yes, decaf poker. Let's go. Decaf, never leave. Stick around. We want to put another 10x under our belt here. Not too much science here, guys. Just put the chips in. Same here, guys. Not too much science, just math. Just the straight boring math there. All right, we're at the very bottom of the range. We roll high here, so we're not going to do one of our sneaky raises here. Check on the flop. Interesting. This is a board that wants to be bluffed pretty frequently on the flop. Sometimes it's just king high, queen high here. We could get to showdown still with the deuce, but this is definitely an unusual line from the player in position. It's pretty hard for him to have a bluff here. Just bluff. He would have bluffed a previous street. We're gonna limp queen 10 suited. We're calling a jam if we need to. We do actually trap quite a few offsuit queens that shove versus limp here as well, which is always nice. Should have a pretty significant edge on this flop just to bet. Julian should be check raising some of his Jack X, but we can still bet call if we need to. I know, Zintex. I was there. I'm randomizing, mate. I'm randomizing these spots. I'm randomizing these spots. Now, for example, this is one of those randomized spots. So the total is 8. We're going to do this. Randomize, Zintex. Perfect timing. You see that? Perfect timing. All right, 7 big blinds. 7 and a deuce can actually come out here. This is a fold. We're down to 6.3 big blinds now. These aren't the hands. These are not the hands we're looking for. Can get a free flop here. Straight draw, backdoor diamonds. Okay, 7.8 big blinds. Decaf! Nice. Let's go. That's always fun. I like when we play normal speed spinning goes, reg speed spinning goes for high stakes. That's what I like. I enjoy that. It's something that I enjoy. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you right now. Playing reg speed spinning goes for 10x multipliers is something that I enjoy. I don't know if I've made that clear before. I'm not sure if I've ever made that clear before. That's something that I enjoy. Okay. So, we go again. There we go. Okay, back on it. What's up, Quisty Woo? All right, we back, ladies and gents. We back. Back in the driver's seat. Back in the driver's seat with pocket kings, like a boss. Back in the driver's seat with Pocket Kings. Oh, give him the quads. Gone. Do it. No. Oh, what? I said give him the quads. Thanks, Decaf, for the run good. Finally, they've finally activated my Team Pro run good after all these years. 2019, I became a PokerStars ambassador. 2019. And here I am for the first time. The Team Pro run good has finally been activated. Now I got superpowers. Where's my Cinco de Mayo there? Mark my words, Zintex. I love you, mate. Well done. The 25 Big Blind fan voted king. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Easy football. You loved it. Easy football. Absolutely loved it. Ooh, this is a terrible run out, chat. This is a really, really bad run out. Literally counterfeited by Jack High. It's so gross. The thing is, if he's betting that hand, he bets loads of other hands we actually have beat with the hand we have with the 10 high. Team Pro run good activated. Quads is good again. It is indeed. It is indeed. Zintex, that's true. That's what my heart really desires. All right, I'm going to bluff the river, guys. Wish me luck. I'm bluffing the river. Successful. The 8 high river bluff was the best. Bring back the 25 big blind spins. Tom, you couldn't be more right, mate. We have a queen. Yeah, bring back Spin and Go Live as well. I mean, Spin and Go Live isn't gone. Nothing currently booked, I believe, but here we go. Oh, hello. Interesting turn. Half pot bet on King Queen 8 is an interesting prospect. What kind of a self-respecting poker player would I be if I folded this turn? What a fantastic run up, by the way. Ace of Diamonds. Claps in the chat for the Ace of Diamonds. Really, really good. Jack 10 gets there as well. This is overall just a really, really fantastic hand of poker. Let's mark this one for review. Would like to take a look at that one later. I want to see what's supposed to bet half pot there, and then I also want to see what the deal is on the call down. There's a pretty decent chance that I'm supposed to call down there, honestly, but like it's actually a really bad run out. Jack 10 is a pretty nice hand to double bluff with. Oh. Oh no, okay, it was for like 4 bigs, that's fine. They should mix it up, like every month do a full week of a full week or two of just OG $25 spins. It's honestly a really good idea. That is honestly a very good idea. Team Pro run good activated. Let's go. Never mind. Never mind. Easter's asking about Spinning Bros. I just need to speak to those guys and book another day in. I contacted them quite recently to shoot another one, but they were all on holiday and stuff. Podcasts need to be a little bit more regimented than that, to be fair, but that's... What do you expect when you're working with poker players, huh? What do you expect when you're working with poker players? Nazgul is playing now as well. Good old friend of the stream, Nazgul. The FOS Nazgul. There he is. Isn't that nice, guys? Get there! Correct. All right, $100 game on the right. We're not folding yet. We have a gut shot, backdoor clubs, overcard to the 6, which is pretty clean. Again, pretty similar kind of spot as to yesterday. We are not going to be giving up just yet. Can the 10 take us to showdown? It can. Equity is important, chat. I'm thinking we probably get away with a bluff there on the river, even if we miss. But the jam is not what we want there. Oops. Sorry, guys. Resizing tables on accident. There we go. What we are doing is we are taking them to the streets. That's what we're doing. Nice, one big blind bluff. Four. Oh, hello. We do like that turn. That is a good turn, chat. Pocket tens is the nuts. Can't fold. Ooh, set of tens is always good. Never ever loses. Set of tens. Let's go. $100 in the bank on the right-hand side, chat. Can we hold on the left for the 50? Oh, we got rivered. Oh my god, we put in 2 streets of value and the guy could not get away from bottom pair. Absolute gift. Literally just gifted with the 1 outer. Sorry, 2 outer, excuse me. Has to hit a 4. Has to hit a 4. Has to get... Hits the 4, gets no value. Hits the 4, gets no value. Fantastic. Let's go. Let's go. The Team Pro run good. Keep it up. Don't stop winning. Let's just keep winning all day long. Let's do that. Let's just never stop winning. Let's go. It's pretty hard to come back from that. Pretty strong flop for King Jack. It's above average. Slightly above average. Back in the game. 8 and a deuce. Get a free flop. Can we get it all in a turn? He's not going to call with a 5. Oh. No hand, no draw on the flop. Turns top pair. Good stuff. This is the same guy that rivered a boat against our 2 pair, by the way, remember? Another gift. Another fantastic gift there on the turn. Couple very generous gifts. Hey, what's up, QB? Wonders if Nick learned or confirmed yesterday while waving at chat. I may have done both. We just got a walk, by the way. That was cool. Got a walk 2 folds for 2.5 bigs. We will be committing the Jack Deuce of Hearts, regardless of the outcome here. Yeah, baby. Nice. All right, do we get our revenge on this guy now? Can we get our revenge on this man? Revenge. A dish served cold. He got luck boxed. He got some gifts. We have a flush draw and a pair. This is a sad story, chat. This is a bit of a sad story now. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Can we get the lot? honestly, just get out of my life forever, mate. The ace-10 has done nothing wrong. He's done absolutely nothing wrong there. But just in case there was any chance that old man Nick could get away from anything, just in case, just give him a little bit more hope. You know, I can't make a combo draw against no hand to save my goddamn life. All right? But as soon as it's flush over flush, like a goddamn magnet. Like a goddamn magnet. What do you got there, buddy? You got an ace-high flush draw? Well, I'm flushing too. Guess what? Instant delivery. Give it to him. Give that man the money. Hey, Nick, what do you got? I'm not doing so good. I've only got top pair. I've got 2 overcards, a flush draw, and a straight draw. I think I'm in pretty good shape. What do you think? Nothing. No chance. Dead. Nada. It's over. You lose. But as soon as there's a chance that I could dust an entire stack, instant delivery. That is so sickening. Never in all my years have I ever witnessed anything like it before. Cannot catch a draw to save my life. Cannot catch a draw. Ever. Meanwhile, I have been flush over flush at least 3 or 4 times in the last 2 days. Hey, what's up, Bard? Thank you very much for the follow. It's very kind. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. I mean, look, it's crazy. It's actually mental. It's actually mental. I wanna study that hand anyway. The GTO won't make any sense because I don't think the bet that he used exists in GTO, but that's fine. We'll still have a proper look. I was rushing a little bit because I was running out of time. So we've got about 9. In a normal universe, we've got about 9 outs plus the 2 pair plus trips. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we've got about 28%. I mean, we got a call. We literally have the pot odds, I think. We can do the math when we do our study session, guys, but the call is still going to be in there. You know, assuming your opponent doesn't literally have the nuts with the nut redraw and get there, and they always get paid. Hey, Zintex, have you not heard the new ones? Guys, I'm sorry, I gotta play Zintex, the new GTI. I gotta play Zintex the new sounds, guys. Sorry if this is this is something that me and Zintex enjoy together. So, all right, Zintex. This is my new. These are my new follow alerts. You ready for this? All right, so this is the follow alert. This is the new sub alert.
It's party time. You just subscribed. Now your soul is all mine.
There you go. This is the bit alert.
You are the shit. Smash you to bits.
This is the new raid.
Let's get paid. This is a raid. You got it made. This is a fucking raid.
Ah, Nazgul never folds here. Nice spot, buddy. Hype Train is the old one as well.
Does he ever lose? This guy. Does he ever lose?
Cool. Queens is a good hand. Not the flop we're looking for here. Trapping King 10. Terrible flop for King 10 here. Not a bad turn, really. Nice. Got a smidge of value on the turn there. Just this. 7-4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That 6 is so tight, man. So tight. That 6 is so tight, mate. All right, we can go bust on this flop now. Sounds a rad. Thanks. I'm glad you approve. I'm glad you approve, mates. This one. Ace Jack against Nazgul. Let's go. Hodl. What the fuck is that river? What do we call that river, mate? Huh? What do we call this? All right, we got a hundo over here. We are definitely winning a couple bucks today so far. We could definitely afford to win a couple more. Nice start to the 50 on the right. Yeah, hey, the sub alert is the best, right? I don't know if you can make out the lyrics, but they're really good.
It's party time! You just subscribed! Now your soul is all mine!
Nice little gent beat. Top pair might get me in trouble here. Please don't get me in trouble, pocket tens. Please don't get me in trouble, pocket tens. Pocket tens, pair of tens. This is unknown player doing this in a $100 game. All right, very tight fold. Fractal says, I'm from Australia. I used to play microstakes every day, but the government banned offshore gambling. It doesn't allow onshore online poker. Oh, mate, I know. Trust me. I have so many Aussie friends who have suffered at the hands of those rules. And it really is very, very sad because Aussies love to play, and there's some really good Australian poker players as well. I mean, Aussie Millions and all that might be making a comeback. I know that there are going to be some Australian events happening for the Irish Open Tour as well, which is coming up pretty swiftly. Syntax says, I have been using Suno for a few months now since I'm still working on my next album, trying to get it ready by the end of August, then practicing my guitars for the stage performance. It's a good shout. I like that. And afterwards, prepare for the release myself and design merch, talk to labels. Nice, man. Well, keep me up to date. I'd love to hear some of it. And I'll definitely buy some merch. You know, I'll support you in that. I would sincerely love to see the Australians change their laws surrounding poker specifically. I understand their desire to control, the pokies, as they say in Oz. The gambling situation in Australia surrounding slot machines is pretty grim, but to allow that to continue to happen and then have such a harsh stance on poker is like very, very weird to me. Yeah, this is going to be any two cards, guys. We gamba. We're getting too shallow to fold any two. We actually end up being dominated awkwardly for no real reason, which is kind of annoying, but there we go. I want this headrest to come up just a bit more. New chair is really dope, by the way, guys. It has been a lot better on my back. 10-6 is too wide, by the way. I don't know why we're limping this in. All right. Nice syntax. Thank you, buddy. Fractal says, I still have $20 in my account from years ago and refused to withdraw it. Oh, it's so annoying. That's just double tilt as well. It's like, it's only $20, but it's kind of the, it's the, you know, the principle of the thing. All right, maybe, let's see. The 6 is probably not the biggest issue here. The 5 does complete some straights. 4, 5, 6, 7. Not the ones that I'm concerned about, though. 3, 4, 5, 6. What's up, Pumpy? How you going, Pumpy? How you going, son? Pair O Kings like a boss. Pair O Kings, baby. We're not going to do this one. We will send this one like this. Ace Queen min raise like a boss. We'll be sending Ace 8 in here pretty much most of the time. Yeah. I hope it makes you happy. Ooh, and if it don't. We'll be sending 4s in here too. I need a brewski. Pumpy wants a brewski. Unreal. King high with the gut shot on the turn. Nice. Getting paid. Top pair is pretty good. I'm afraid I'm not good enough to fold this hand. The question is, do we call, do we shove? Shove is a pretty huge win for us, to be honest. Definitely can get called by worse. Getting the fold is also kind of a win. I think when they commit that much of their stack, though, it's pretty good for us just to take it down most of the time. Pretty big red line spot there. I don't think you can make too big of a mistake when shoving the king jack, but there we go. I'm gonna do the fold here. I'm gonna check raise this one as a LeBluff, as a shy LeBluff. Check raising as a shy LeBluff, successful shy LeBluff. Ace Jack for $100 is no good. We're trapping 7s on the left. We're hoping to try and get some ace deuce, king deuce, queen deuce, pocket 2s, pocket 3s, pocket 4s. Pocket 8s is going to be a hand we lose to most of the time. That is what we call a stupid cooler. Emphasis on the stupidity of how stupid it is. We do manage to claw back some equity here on the queen 7, which is lovely. The cool thing about the 7s versus 8s is it doesn't matter how we play the hand, the money's going to go in the middle no matter what. King 7 mandatory call against the reg on the right-hand side. No good. We do win the 75, though. Those are some very good games for us. We actually won tons of EV in these. In both of these games, we played the hundo basically like a fucking super genius. We did manage to get that cheeky check raise through as well on the left-hand side. That was nice. What's up, Prince, old friend of the stream? The one and only Princel, friend of stream. Oh my goodness, we are not enjoying that kind of a river. That is not the kind of river that we enjoy, I'm afraid. All right, two more. Sixes definitely is fine here. We're going to do a 2.4x ISO. We're going to put the King 6 into a limp. 7 deuce going to town for a 1 big blind bluff. You got to pick left, middle, right. I'm wondering if we can convince this guy to triple here once we turn the diamonds. The 1 big blind bet on the turn to me feels like he's trying to milk us, which means I think the check is going to induce another one here. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to put him to the test for all of it here. Let's give it some time. I'm on stream discussing what an amazing bluff this is, about how I'm definitely bluffing, and we're definitely not about to be flush over flush again for the 100th time in 2 days. Cool. Always middle. That's right, Raksha. That's right. We did manage to do something clever anyway. It was kind of cute. I don't want to label this guy. I'm not going to prematurely label. I don't actually know. He seems to play the game well. I haven't seen anything weird yet, but I don't know. I've got a weird vibe. Got a bit of a weird vibe. Two unknown players, $75 game. Yes, please. Two unknown players in a $75 game. Let's get some EV today. Give me some EVs today. Hey, throw my throwables. Ace 8 all day long, baby. Don't you chop this pot. Let's go. Let's get some EV today. All right, limped pot. We're wrapped around the 3 here. King high for the win? Oh, the 7 plays. That's interesting. Let's check. See if we can't learn something on the turn. Let's bet big on the turn. Got shot on the flop, blocking the hearts. Trading on the turn. Might try this. And then I'm going to try and trap the 10s. In fact, against the more passive player, I'm going to mid-raise the 10s. Get the chips all in faster. Yeah. That's a good one. Like those ones. We're gonna... Why is Prinzel min-raising here? Why is he such a fish? I don't actually think Prinzel's a fish. I just like to call him that because I know he watches the stream. Stop clicking that button. There we go. That's the one we want. Sorry, chat. When I'm the way that I'm stacking the tables, when I try to pull the window that I want into OBS, when I try and pull the window into OBS, it gives me all the current windows that are opening, and currently one of the windows is stars caption, which is not a window at all. It's the overlay that's generating my random number generator. Thanks. That will go. This one is gonna be find a check. Nice. All right, guys, so we do have a couple hands for review. They're going to be pretty swift today, so let's keep blasting here, try and get the volume in. We are still some ways away from our total. I think we're just going to fold this one. Bullshit. Didn't come here just almost when I came to gamble it all. 7! 7! Yeah, that's totally fine. That is part of the play. I'm going to double check this one. We're going to look up the 8-9, but I'm pretty sure we call there just for the pure equity. I think that's how you do that one. You got a new game here. Not that one. It's not that one. It's this one. And we're hopefully going to catch Julian shoving on us there. This guy on the right's really attacking these limps. We want to be aware of that. It's been very, very aggressively raising versus limps. So we're going to sneak in a few more traps. For example, pocket force. Slam it in his face. If we generate folds there, it's really good. The raise call with King 5 here is very bad. This is definitely not what you want to do. In any case, the trap is still successful in getting the best hand in. It's just not, it's not very high value for us, right? We don't really want to be trapping with 4s, but he can also raise fold that hand, for example, which is, you know, Cool. Good game. Good win. Yeah, I mean, that it's like, as I say, you don't really want to be trapping with those pairs. The cool thing is, if he is going to raise call with King 5, there's no difference between that and King Deuce and King 3 and King 4 in hands that we still have dominated. But even though we are multi-tabling, we're still picking up on these small tendencies and trying to adapt to them in, you know, short spaces of time with minimal exposure to these individual players. I mean, we can just send the 7-4 as we get shallower. In this particular spot, I'm pretty sure we're still doing this. That's a better line, I think. And then the Queen 6, King Queen. Let's just take that one out for now. That one very clearly goes in. Jable. Oh, nice. Let's go. Let's just get all the run good. We're just going to shove King 7. We have King Queen. We got him dominated. Close enough. Close enough. Don't chop the pot now. Don't do that. We get in good against the King 7 of diamonds here for the right. Limp this one. Oh my god, what a run out. We are going to limp. Jack 9. That's a really good flop. That is a really good flop, chat. That is a really good flop, chat. Honestly, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Don't be so ridiculous. Do not be so ridiculous. Unbelievable, the shit we have to deal with. We're playing for like 10 big blinds here. There is no folds. It doesn't exist. Oh man, what a silly game. What a silly game. What a truly ridiculous game. Honestly. Honestly. We still have 20%. Guy min bets the flop. Pings the gut shot. Pings the gut shot. Alright, let's go ahead and mark this for review. I'd like to see the Jack 9 suited call. It actually might be good enough just to shove at that stack depth. Against the large ISO, it's a very specific situation. I think it might even be good enough just to shove. But that's what we're going to look up anyway. This is what we're going to look up anyway. Okay, doesn't bet the flop. Let's go big on the turn. We make a straight. 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, unfortunately. I think we're going to call a river bet here, though. Honestly, guys, what kind of a life are we leading out here? It's ridiculous. 1/3 stacked ISO'd pot, and he's got queen 9 turns his gut shot. Pretty majestic. Fraxel says, I'm kind of addicted to all-in poker, but it would be insane to play for real money. I mean, yeah, it's a very low-edge game as well. Like, the you know, not that it's not fun, not that it's not something that you might enjoy, but, you know, it's, I don't think we can continue here. I want to mark the king 7 as well. But yes, the swings are very, very, very big. Small bet here, I think. Nice. Okay, so the king 7 mark for review. The 9-5 suited mark hands. The 8-9 mark hands. The Jack 9. Cool. We got a couple fun ones there. Actually, I'll tell you what, guys. After these games, let's go ahead and trap this guy. We have marked this guy for doing unusual things that we can exploit. For example, putting in a 30-year stack and folding. King 10 can go here. I call you, but I couldn't find the words. Ace 9 is a fantastic hand to call 4 big blinds with. Yeah, let's start the review session after this, guys. We won the $50 to finish the sesh. Very nice. All right, so let's take a look at today. I have not looked at this graph. I have not looked at the day graph because I obviously have to refresh to find the hands that we're going for review. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is what's been on the screen today. Wrong button. This is what's been on screen all day today. Obviously, when we're looking at the big year graph, the fluctuations aren't as obvious, so we're not going to be like, oh, we're winning, oh, now we're losing, now we're up, now we're down, whatever, right? So this is our chip graph for the year so far, as you guys will have known from all of my ranting and raving. The reason why this has to stay open is I have to refresh this page in order to scroll down, find the hands for review, and then mark them for review down here. However, we will take a look at today's graph for the first time just now. Let's take a look at today. So today we played a lot of poker. Today we ended up just a smidge over break even in EV. We did run very good. We ran about 3,000 chips, no, 2,500 chips above expectation. We ended up winning $100 with the Shabiva 6.8. Again, this is not good enough. This is still not what we require. However, if we can continue to chip away at 6.8 and then have a couple really big days, we will get out of this rut eventually. And of course, overall, guys, this is the issue that we've been having is our EV is just nowhere near what it needs to be. Now, we're probably only about 7-8 points away. So we're not a million miles away. A couple good runs can see us skyrocketing here, but we do need to get through the volume and we do need to place more volume in order to get there. Let's get into the review session. Let me just double check. Let me refresh this one more time. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool, all good. So, let's take a look at some hands for review. Before we do that, let's close up stars. And let's skip that for now. Good stuff. All right, cool. So PokerStars is now officially closed. We are no longer playing poker. We are now into our study session. For those of you that don't know, Hand to Note, who I've recently partnered with, this is the automated tracking that I use to track my profit and loss, as well as a whole slew of other super interesting statistics. There's this really, really good. Oh, is it going to stick now? There's a really fantastic tool that was made by Team Boss as well to study all of your individual frequencies in different positions that you can download. And of course, I'm using it to mark my hands. This is approved for use during play. Some of the tools that we're about to use are not approved for use during play, and therefore we'd like to stay in TOS. Oops, sorry guys. All right, Ace 10 hearts. Player raises we call. Now, we looked at these yesterday. I always forget these. There is a chance that ace 10 plus is good enough to shove. I mean, this is definitely good enough to shove, don't get me wrong. However, I do think we're supposed to be calling with quite a few of our suited aces to try and keep in some of these bluffs. It might be the case that like everything up to ace 8 suited is a flat and then everything above is a shove. I just don't remember. Anyway, we played it as a call. Our opponent bets 1, we float. Our opponent checks, we bet the turn, we take it down. So we win the pot regardless. We're playing this in a way that is going to work some of the time. However, what we want to now do is fire up the old GTO wizard, for which I have a paid account. And let's take a look at some of these hands in via hand histories. Fractal says I'd probably play microstakes if it was allowed in Oz. It is really fun. I mean, yeah, I think that's probably a spot where you might even be able to make a few bucks as well. Like I said, I think the pre-flop is just a shove. I think it's raise shove. I want to see where the cutoff is. That's why I've marked this for review, because I was pretty sure that we were, yeah, okay, there you go. So we're not going mental. In our brains, we kind of understand that this is a thing. Now, don't get me wrong, the difference between the flat and the raise is going to be pretty close. If we actually compare EVs here, the difference between the call and the all-in is almost identical. It's 0.04 big blinds. So, you know, if you are playing against people who you think are playing on the loose side, but they don't enjoy being all-in, they prefer to take, like, you know, weak hands to the flop, it might be better for us to play this hand as a flat or whatever. It's not going to be terrible. Just to simplify, I would say that generally speaking, we're going to try and, you know, raise these ones small, call. Yeah, I mean, we have the right idea in our brain. Like, this isn't a massive blunder. As played, however, after the call, bets 1, call on the turn. After the check, they actually prefer a check here as well. So that's good to know. All right, queen 10 suited. All in here. And I'm assuming we're calling the jam here. This seems very obvious. This is just one of those spots where Queen 10 suited is a hand that just has tons of equity against the hands that want to jam here. We dominate a ton of it. We're actually ahead of a fair amount of it. The issue that we encounter is, and that's what I want to look at, this player is an unknown player. They might not be shoving as wide as they should, but I still think Queen 10 is going to be too powerful, too much equity for us to want to fold to any player. So this is obviously perfect. Let's go ahead and study the spot itself, though. So this player is all in for 6. There's a fold here, and now this is our calling range. If we go to Queen 10 suited, as soon as you see that the actual value of a call is 0.84 big blinds, you just know, like, it doesn't even matter if we take out tons of stuff here. It doesn't matter if we remove a fair amount of this. We could take out, like, tons of hands here, and you know you're still going to be good. In fact, why don't we go ahead and do that properly, okay? So let's run a custom solution here. We're going to start everybody with... we're going to start 3-handed. Everyone's got 8 big blinds. This is the same as this, but we're going to change the shove to 6. We are going to assume that there are no limps on the button. So this is pre-flop 3-handed chip EV, 8 big blinds average, 6 big blinds on the flop, which is what we're looking at here, right? 6 big blinds. This is close enough. That's definitely close enough. We're looking at the 6 big blind call anyway. And all this is fine. Okay, cool. Create solution. So we've basically generated the same as what we were looking at just a moment ago. So if we study this spot, this is the all-in, this is the fold, this is the call. So what we've done is we've generated the same thing here, and it should be approximately the same. So fold, this is the calling range. So if we compare these two, ignore the black ones. I don't know why it still does that. These are calls as well. These are basically identical. They was just solved on the fly, okay? Now, let's say that we go and node lock this spot here, and we change the way that this player behaves. So let's assume we know this player's range exactly. We know that they're thinking along the same lines as us. This is a linear shoving range. Let's assume now that we are going to fold like king 7, king 8, queen 9, king 9, 9, 10. Let's say that they don't know that they're shoving their suited connectors, except for maybe like, you know, the 9, 10 suited, jack 10 suited. They like to shove those. Let's take out, let's just go crazy. We've taken out tons of this range. They're going to shove any ace. They're going to shove most of their Broadway. They're going to shove their pairs. They're going to shove these hands. They might even shove up to here. Okay, we've taken out a lot. We can compare the two if you want. So now we are all in 29.4% of the time. compared to 36.9. That is massively different, okay? And as a result of doing that, we now look at the ranges after the fact. This is a fold. Oh, sorry. All in, fold, and this is the adjusted range. So if we compare, this was the GTO range, this was the calling range that we had before. It is tighter because your opponent does shove tighter, of course, but we can see that Queen 10 suited, despite losing half of its total value, is still miles profitable, like way too good to miss. So this is further confirmation, and actually a really good example of a circumstance where people will say to me, well, Nick, here's the thing. I play in these games and these guys have never heard of GTO. So what you're talking about is bullshit. It doesn't matter. Like GTO doesn't matter in the games that I play in. This is inherently false. What they're trying to say, and what they've misunderstood because they can't be bothered to try and learn, is they're trying to say that a baseline GTO solution is not suitable for the kinds of plays and the ranges that these players employ. That can be completely accurate, and that usually is accurate. In fact, that's accurate in most games you play in, even very good games. However, if you change the inputs, if you alter the inputs to mirror the actions and the styles and the plays of the opponents that you are playing against, the GTO output will still give you the correct answer. And this is a very basic version of that, but this is a good example of exactly what I'm talking about. Now, how do I know that Queen 10 suited is a slam dunk call here? Well, I've played the game for a long time. It shouldn't be that. It's not rocket science. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm a super genius or anything, but I can say with certainty, because I know what this looks like from a GTO perspective, from a baseline GTO perspective, I can say with a lot of confidence that I know, even in my mind, when I'm just trying to ballpark what a calling range looks like against somebody who's not playing GTO, I know that it's well within there, and therefore I can assume that it's going to work against players that are going to play a little bit tighter, or a little bit more passively, or more aggressively, or blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter, right? So suddenly these are in your brain. It's easier to guesstimate what you should do if you know what baseline looks like. And in a world where more and more people are learning what baseline looks like and studying baseline, it's important that we understand where these things exist, or we fall behind. So that was kind of an unintended lesson, but you see where I'm going with this. All right, so the ace-5 suited, we just rip here. This should be pretty straightforward, guys. I'm pretty sure that we're shoving all of our suited connectors up to ace-5 suited here anyway. It might even be a bit more because the stacks are asymmetrical. Yeah, perfect play. So let's take a look at the whole range. Yeah, this one's fine. So yeah, like I said, ace deuce to ace 5, and then I said maybe a bit more because they're asymmetrical. Boom, job done. Everything up to ace 7 suited basically. And here we are all in for the jack 8 suited. I'm pretty sure this is a slam dunk. I don't know why we're looking this up. It's for about 6 bigs. Okay, they actually prefer this as a limp, I guess. Okay, cool. So again, this is an interesting one to study because there are 2 ways to play this that I think both have a lot of value. This will depend somewhat on your opponent type as well. So we don't know this player. In fact, we do. Sorry, this is B Cesar. This is a reg. So reg v reg, the push here is probably going to be completely fine. And if anything, a good player is more likely to exploit your weaknesses when you play it slowly. So if we compare the EV of the jack 8 suited jam, you can see that we're definitely thinking along the right lines. But because we're still at 7 big blinds to 6 big blinds, I'll show you the difference. There's a big difference between these 2 heads up stacks. At 7, we're still doing quite a lot of limping. We're still in there with jack 8 suited, jack 9 suited, queen 9 suited, these kinds of things. If I duplicate this and we take a look at 6, though, it just becomes very push fold. So if we go down to 6, all that red starts creeping in. And yes, we are trapping some hands. We do need to technically balance it out with some of these weaker ones as well. It's difficult to do well, but once you've seen this 1,000 times, whatever. So you can see where my head is at. This is not wild to assume that we can jam jack 8 suited here, and it will be profitable. Don't get me wrong. Along the right-hand side, you can see we can compare the all-in value versus the limp, and the limp is only 0.01 big blinds difference between the jam, because we're really playing this hand at face value for the most part, right? By limping, we're giving ourselves a little bit of a better opportunity to outplay our opponent's post-flop without exposing the money where they can just call with the best hand. But the jam is going to be completely fine. And it's important we do this work because if you go to somebody and you say, Hey, Nick. The other day I was in this spot, I was heads up and I went all in, and do you think it's a mistake? And then whoever you're talking to just looks up the spot and they say, it's definitely a call, that was a mistake. You're missing the entire picture, right? Because in poker, there are very few yes and no's. Most of the yes and no's are always ifs. And also there's more than one way to play. And very often the different ways that you play hands will have, very little difference. Assuming you're not playing, if you're not all in with 7 deuce every hand, very often there will be very close, there'll be moves that have very similar values to each other and different properties that you might want to exploit. So let's say that we have Jack 8 suited and we're playing against a mega passive player, like so passive. They only ever raise when they have a really big hand. They're never bluffing. They're never 3-betting, none of that stuff, right? We want to limp way more of this range. A lot of these really pretty playable hands become super powerful because we can enter the pot where we know our opponent will indicate whether or not they have a good hand after they raise. And when they don't, they're going to play very poorly post flop. So these hands massively outperform as a call, as opposed to a shove. And you can just be driven by the shape of this. So if you look at this, you'll go, if this is a hand that does well against a perfect opponent who never makes a mistake post flop, then probably this going to fall in that category as well. And probably this will, and probably this will, and probably, you know what I'm saying? It'll go out from there. These are hands that have increased prop playability versus their suited cousins down here. And therefore, these are hands that we can start to sort of expand and use differently despite it being incorrect, according to GTO baseline, okay? In the same way, we can probably extend our calling range where we can call with more trash because we'll get away with more stuff post-flop. So probably start to include more 6-5 and 5-4, and then maybe some 6-7-5 and some 8-5. Include these hands more as limps when your opponents are super passive. You might want to... If you're playing against somebody who's really good post-flop, you're probably going to do slightly better by increasing the shove. So putting the Jack 8 suited in there is going to be fine. You're not going to do that much better. It's probably almost identical to what we're seeing there in the actual solve, but there we go. John Edwards says, oh, did we win today? Kiev's for dinner tonight. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You can have Kiev's if you want, babe. That's fine. What were you having if you lost? Pasta. There's nothing wrong with pasta. Kiev sound like a great idea, babe. That's fine. So all in here, I believe, yeah, we're just going to rip the ace-8. There's a call. Okay, I don't know why we're looking this up, but yeah, the ace-8 is definitely a jam here. I just want to see the whole range, I guess. I'm pretty sure, I haven't looked yet. Ace-8 suited, ace-9 suited, ace-10 suited, all open jams. Sorry, ace-10 off, ace-8 off, ace-10 off, ace-9 off. Those three there, yeah. Cool. Queen deuce, we shove the suited hands. So this is a very specific one. We might have to solve this one ourselves. This is a 6 big blind stack, and the small blind is committed with 1.33 big blinds, so mandatory call here. I think we're going to shove a lot of our suited queens here. Queen deuce suited might be too wide, but I think it goes. I think it's okay. Yeah. So let's look. It's going to be real close. Actually, not at all close. Not even close to what I thought. I'm completely wrong on this one. Completely wrong. I am absolutely omega wrong here. So I'm thinking of suited kings apparently and not queens. Okay, queens. No, sorry. Okay, queen 6 suited here. The call is, so this is kind of busted because the one big blind is here in the big blind, but this is still very interesting because effectively what we're saying is we want to play a pot against this player here. The call is way better, to be honest, when we have this short stack in the big blind. But we're playing this too wide. This was way too wide to shove, so we've messed this one up. This was a mistake on our part we have to learn from. Kievs are in my top favorite 10 foods. Top 10 favorite foods. All right, I'm pretty sure the 6-3 is going to be okay here. This actually might sneak into limp as opposed to shove, but I'm pretty sure the value is almost identical. Ah, this is a technical jam. All right, cool. Let's take a look. So we spoke about this one yesterday a bit as well, guys. This is the hand I'm talking about. So we're 8.5, sorry, we're 6.5 big blinds deep. The 6-3 is played as a jam. 6-3 of diamonds as a push feels so unnatural here. The benefit of playing this hand this way is we know that mathematically we will force enough folds in order to make this profitable, and 6-3 will perform well against the hands that do want to call, or at least better than some of the hands that are dominated. So this is just going to fall into what we would consider the Nash range here. But you can see as soon as we get a hand that's very close in EV, it will start to mix some of our closer spots as calls if it's given the opportunity to play a different line. So the Nash range that we have, the Nash push fold, if I open that up for you guys over here, this is the straight Nash push fold. Now this is a toy game, and that's important that you guys understand that this is GTO of sorts, but it's only GTO in the parameters that it's provided. And what does that mean? That means that this is a toy game, and a toy game is where you are studying something in game theory and sometimes outside of game theory as well. When you are studying something and you want to understand a mechanic of a game or a system, a toy game is something where you are simplifying the rules of that game in order to learn a theoretical concept. And so the toy game of Nash, this is very important to the solvers in general. The toy game that we have here is the only options that the two players have are push or fold. That's it. Obviously, you can call if the player goes all in. That will effectively be the same as a push. So this is a game whereby you can only be all in or fold or call. And in solving said toy game, we do have some very nice moves that we can make as we get shallower, but obviously we know we don't want to shove aces for 20 big blinds. We're not going to make enough chips. We want to trick people into entering the pot so that we win more from aces than we should. We want people to make mistakes when we have good hands. And that's where all the complicated stuff comes in, because we want to do things that are alternative. However, if we take a look at the spot that we're talking about right now, so 6-3 suited, we can see that 6-3 suited specifically wants to be shoved. It's down here. 7.1, between 7.1 big blinds and 5.1 big blinds effective, and then at 2.3 big blinds exactly. It's a weird one, but that does fit our parameters, right? So we know that we can shove this hand according to Nash, and it will break even plus, assuming our opponents call perfectly, and often they don't, which is to our benefit. However, when we add in the additional options of raising and calling and doing other things, other moves that are not purely push fold, what you will often find is the hands that are all in and they're close to zero are the ways that we balance when we limp our stronger hands. So in this situation, yes, you can shove aces for 6.5 big blinds, but we want to trap people. So the trap is a call. In order to balance our calling range, so we're not only ever calling with very strong hands, GTO will very frequently take the worst hands that we shove according to Nash, and they'll put them into a calling range. 6-3 suited is a good example of that. But we are getting to the point where it is starting to verge on call slash shove. I wanted to confirm that sort of my instinct was right. My instincts were right on both fronts. The shove is good, but also the limp is going to be something that happens around that part of the range. Okay, Queen Jack, we min raise here, and there's a jam, and we call. Now, this is an interesting one because I think that Queen Jack suited is just a straight shove. Once we have min raised, I assume we must call. But again, this is going to be one with almost no difference in the EV. And I'm happy to play this hand differently depending on who we're playing against. All right, so pre-flop, it is going to be a mix between a shove and a raise. Like I said, this is not crazy to me. And then once we see the all-in, absolutely mandatory call, we're going to do fine against the range that wants to shove this. Assuming your opponents aren't super nits, which of course these guys mostly aren't. All right, Queen 5. Blind v blind, we jam. I'm pretty sure this is a slam dunk jam. I say slam dunk. It's not. We hate this spot really, but I think it is profitable. Okay, so Queen 5. The all-in is very, very, very indifferent. If we take a look at that Nash range again, however, Queen 5 is right here, so that's 8.9 big blinds. So we know for a fact that this is at least going to break even as a shove. However, the reason we're seeing it played alternatively is because this will balance other spots too. I'm not saying that I don't want to raise Queen 5 in future, but in order to be able to min raise aces, kings, queens, jacks at 8.5 big blinds effective, we need to balance it with some of our weaker stuff, and that makes sense that Queen 5 would go in there. This is exactly what I was just saying, right? This is exactly the same concept of what I was just talking about with Nash, but in a slightly different setup. So in this case, instead of limping as a trap in position, what we want to do is we want to min-raise steal. If we want to be able to min-raise steal where our opponents know that we're not always stealing with the nuts, we need to include some hands. Where do we find those hands? Those hands are made up of the worst hands that we are able to shove according to Nash. Queen 5 is a good example. So you can see the all-in here does actually show a very tiny profit. The profit is predicated on your opponent calling perfectly, which means you profit more when they fold incorrectly. However, this is a really great way to think about stuff. If you ever get stuck and you ask yourself, okay, I want to do something that looks really strong. How do I balance this so it's not always strong? You think about what's the worst hand that you might shove here. Instead of playing it as a shove, play it as a min raise, for example. This is, again, that was pretty much a perfect setup to the other thing we were just talking about. All right, Queen 6, it goes raise call. On this board, it goes bet call. On this turn, it goes bet call. On the river, it goes shove fold. I think this is how we have to play the hand. I don't know. This is a really tough one because people underbluff this line a lot in real life. But let's see what the wizard says. Yeah, pretty much across the board. I want to know what's supposed to bet to here, though. There's a half pot bet that our opponent makes. Sorry, can we skip to that part? Let's skip to that bit first. So bang, 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 bang. We're arriving on the flop. I want to see this bit. So bet 2. Here you go. I'm trying to figure out what's supposed to bet to. Yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking. Is our opponent goes for this half pot size. I don't really think the half pot size thing is a thing according to GTO. The bet 1 is way more frequent. This is betting 2 into a pot of 4. Half pot, right? The bet 3 exists. The 75% pot is a thing. People probably aren't doing this well. And if we simplify this to a single size range, I wouldn't be surprised if it's almost always bet 1. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but there's a way that you can basically ask GTO to give you 1 bet size. GTO Wizard. And for the most part, it's going to be the simplest strategy to execute. That's the idea, right? They've tried to solve in a way that gives you a very effective, powerful strategy without overloading you. And if you default to always betting 1 here, you're going to do very, very well. Which is why when we switch back to simple, simple is going to be 2 size. There we go. Not simple, I meant general. When we switch to this, we get a bit more idea about what's going on inside the mind of the computer. However, when I see my opponent betting half pot on this board, it does suddenly scare me. And that's why actually I think probably folding this turn as an exploit is probably a cool thing to do. Because my opponent, who is a reg, is taking a line that I think is very unusual. And to me isn't screaming, I have no hand, I'm just trying to bluff. You know what I mean? So as played, confirmed genius, I guess, but like still, I think maybe we have to full turn in reality against real people. So in here, we limp, our opponent raises, we call, we arrive here, there is a bet. Now this was a very upsetting pot, guys. We limp, they raise, we call. I'm pretty sure this is going to be double ticks. On this board, we're not going to fold yet. Of course, we call. On this turn, our opponent bets 6. Now let's actually do the math here. Let's actually do calculator math. So the total pot will be 6 times 2. 6 times 2 plus 10. The total pot will be 22, and they want us to call 6 divided by 22 is going to be 27. So this is actually crazy. So on this turn, very often we will have the best hand with a 9, a 6, or a flush. Not always. Obviously not always. Poker is never always. If we have 9 cards plus 2 cards plus 3 cards, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards. 2 times 14 is 28. So we have almost exactly 28% equity on this turn, assuming all of our cards are live and assuming that we get paid when we get hit, and we almost always get paid, right? So he bets an amount where we basically can never, ever, 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 ever fold, in my opinion. I don't think shoving makes any sense because we have no fold equity. So we might as well call, realize the equity of our hand, and if we miss, we miss. If we get there, we'll pay him off, right? As played, we make the call. The math adds up. The math is perfect. What's cool about that is even if you assume that some of your two pairs and stuff aren't good, even if that equity gets knocked down, the amount that you gain by winning the 4 big blinds on the river is probably enough to make up for it. We river a flush. Our opponent goes all in, we call, and it's flush over flush because, like, literally fuck my life. Anyway, the thing we're about to look up here, I'm about to upload this hand. This won't exist in GTO. I don't think that bet 6 on the turn is a thing. So we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna try and learn what we can from what's available in the actual baseline GTO that we have. What's funny is this might actually still solve for it. Okay. So let's go through it step by step. We decide to call. We know that we can steal this hand, but we decide to call. Our opponent raises to 3. Absolutely mandatory call. We're not limping to fold. On the flop, we check. Our opponent bets. I want to see how often they're supposed to bet there, though. Can we see the bets? Yeah. Okay, whatever. Let's assume that the bet 2 is fine. We call. On the turn, definitely a check. Our opponent bets again. They bet 6. This is literally a call. You can see the difference here, guys. This isn't even remotely close. So what's cool about this is it looks like it's actually solved the spot rather than pulling it directly from the library. And in this particular setup, the fold is a huge mistake because we win nothing. The call has a value of 3.31 big blinds. This is ginormous. This is ginormous. And the all-in has very little value because, again, presumably we're just gambling with the value of our actual draw itself. So we're basically shoving with the equity that we have, and we're not giving ourselves a way to get away if we don't hit. And we're also not gonna really get any folds, according to the computer. Of course, it might happen in reality. So the call, as played, we check, which is actually what we're supposed to do all the time. The shove, this is pretty much the same to me. I don't really care. I think the check is best against somebody who we think might just be blasting off because we still want him to bluff. There's still loads of value hands that want to shove this river that we get value from anyway. So keep the bluffs in. That's the all in. We're obviously never folding. This is obviously accurate. Just out of interest, let's actually take a look at the whole solve. And because what we see here will be slightly different, but on this turn, yeah, you can see here, guys, there is no bet 6 on this turn. Even if we go to research, oh, I don't want to go all the way back down. Yeah, okay, B6 doesn't exist, basically, is what I'm saying. On the turn, B 4.5 is a thing, that's it. Anyway, even under duress, we still made the right decision. Good stuff. All right, we have an all-in here. This is for 6 big blinds. We call with 9 high. Nick, how could you be such a fish? Why would you ever call with 9 high? You definitely can't call there. We have too much equity to fold. These are important spots. We don't want to miss these ones. Jack 9 suited, we call. Our opponent raises to 3.5. Now, I'm not sure about this one. I think Jack 9 might be good enough to shove, but we're not going to fold a hand this strong. We decide to call. Look at this flop, guys. Printle has put in 1/3 of the effective stack, and we flop trips. Decides to bet 1.5. We call. On the turn, all in, call. What do you think he's got, guys? What do you think that is? How about that for an absolute meme of a setup? Right, so pre-flop, we call. Our opponent raises big. Like I said, the Jack 9 is good enough at the stack depth to shove, but the call is also appropriate. On the flop, he bets, we call. On the turn, he jams, we call. We just run into the absolute nut worst hand. Stupid poker. All right, so here we go. We are going to raise. Our opponent calls. On this board, we check, they check. On this turn, we bet. Our opponent calls. On the river, we check, and they check. This one is very, very interesting. I honestly have no idea if we've done anything here like GTO, but I think we do play it in a way that could win. I would imagine, at the very minimum, the pre-flop and the flop are good. Yep. So let's go from this beginning. This is raise call. Our opponent checks. We check. On the turn, we bet 4. So on the turn, they want us to check again, which I definitely don't hate. As an exploit, I prefer the bet. We can see the betting is pretty similar value as well. B4 apparently being one of the least used sizes, but I think that there is something to that that works in a human environment. And then once we get to the river, it's just unsolved because it's just a line that's not taken often enough. That's fair enough. Cool. So here you go, blind v blind. We limp 9-5 suited. We arrive here and we check raise. I think this is a thing. I don't know if this size is correct, but I would like to imagine that we're not missing this. We're not completely crazy here. I think this actually makes sense to me. Find a way to be aggressive is cool, right? Pre-flop. Limp or raise, obviously that's fine. Check is, yep, and there's a bet and the raise. So the raise exists, we've just gone for a size that doesn't really exist, like I said. I might do another version of that. That one kind of scares me. Unstable Poker, hello, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so here basically we can call, we can raise. I just picked the wrong size. The raise exists, we're not going crazy, that's fine. A more believable size is 2.5, which makes sense. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to check raise a straight here with 2-4, right? And that's problematic. It happens. 4 is not completely outlandish, but to check raise this spot, I think basically we're going to want to be able to have a size where we still get called, where we have the 7-5. So if we look at this, I'm assuming that we are going to check raise with the straight some of the time. We can see 7-5 is happening. The size is 2.5 most frequently, I think. Yeah, 2.5 across the board. That makes sense. This is the flop nuts. If we want to have a believable check raise, we need to use a size that is believable where we can have the best hand. 2 pair is probably another good example of one that checked. 5 deuce always wants to check raise. That makes sense. That's the other flop straight. Where are the other 2 pairs here? 4-3. 4-3 wants to do it quite often. 2.5 is the same size. 5-4 check raising is also pretty cool. The 5-4 is an interesting one because the check raise bigger is better for our hand. Getting overcards to fold when we have second pair and we have the straight draw where we can punt it is also pretty good. A lot of people don't realize, but like when we actually flop the middle pin for the up and down and the pair, the equity that we have against like the entire range is usually very extreme. Like it's usually like tons enough for us to go crazy, especially once there's so much dead money in the pot anyway. But this makes sense. I'm happy with this. I wasn't surprised to see that the size was wrong, but I think it's also kind of cute. All right, so all in, call. I think we defend. Yeah, this is fine so far. On the flop, we bet, we have the gut shot. These are tricky for me because again, I think these are spots where people are underutilizing that larger size, especially on a texture like this. I don't know if just the bear king is a good enough hand to call with. King of clubs might have some more relevance here, but let's take a look. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, just for my own headspace, you know, folding here makes sense. Let's see if we have the king of clubs or something like that, if it changes at all. Again, I don't really know if I play the hand any differently, but like if we take a look at king 7, so you can see there, guys, we're right on the money. And it's great because we're thinking along the right lines, right? We're thinking about the game a little bit more deeply every time we do this. Am I ever going to execute this strategy like perfectly? Never, ever, ever. But the fact that we're in the right mindset and we're thinking about the game along these lines, I think gives us a lot of power in situations where we have more difficult decisions. But if you take a look at the bottom right-hand side of the screen, it might be difficult to see. All of the kings at the bottom there are the suited kings, the king of clubs. Not the suited kings. The king of clubs that matches the suit on the board. Queen 10-9, where we have the king of clubs. Having the king of clubs makes this probably very close in terms of raising, calling, or folding. But it is cool to see that we are thinking along those lines. King 8 actually wants to check raise a fair amount. That's super interesting. Check raise to 6. I mean, we're never going to probably execute some of these strategies that are in here, but it is cool that we're going, okay, this one feels close, but is it close enough with X? Because when we find other spots that are, you know, a little bit more obvious, we're going to make better decisions based on the suits that we have provided in a way that the computer approves of. Unstable Poker says, to me, the interesting part of the 9 of hearts, 6 of hearts is if the river was the king of clubs or the deuce or some brick, or even if the queen, let's say, do we call down? I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel like I've already put the hand to bed. Which 9-6 was it? Sorry, man. That's not on you. That's on me. I forgot the. With the delay, it's difficult because your post comes in after we finish. I've also put the hand away now as well. Sorry, of course. It's the flush draw hand. Sorry. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I think I can find it again. I really don't like how. I really wish I could filter for. Maybe this might help. They need to fix how you go through these hands. So we had 9-6 of hearts. When you filter like this, when you filter using the pre-flop as well, it puts in like a really weird order. Maybe I'm just being a dum-dum. It wouldn't be the first time. So 9-6 is right here, but it's 9-6 off. It puts it in a very weird order that I still haven't worked out. Maybe that's helpful. Okay, is that the entire list, though? Okay, come on. Is that the whole list? Sorry, I misread what you said at first, buddy. I thought you were saying 9-6 offsuit. I was like, I don't remember that one. 9-6 of hearts. This is the one. Okay, so if you guys are just joining, this is a reminder of how this hand played, if it's going to open for me. I think hand to note gets a bit confused when I try and look at hands like that. It gets a bit stuck. It's still loading hands, isn't it? All right, we'll take a look, buddy. Give me a sec for this to load. All right, are you going to work for me? There we go. All right, so this was the spot we just looked at. So we limped, our opponent raised, we called, we ended up with a 6, we called, our opponent bets the turn, we called, we got the heart, we got it in. So the question was, to me, the interesting part of this hand is, if the river is the king of clubs, or a deuce or a brick or whatever, or even a queen, do we still call down? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. We have the technology. Although what I would say is it's going to be slightly broken because the library solution is going to be the library solution is actually going to play the hand correctly, according to him. But let's see if we can learn something. So let's say the way this was played, we have a flush. Obviously, we're not folding the river, obviously, right? Let's say instead that the river is, you were suggesting, what if the river was the king of clubs? So let's put in the king of clubs instead. Sorry, king of clubs was already out there. King of spades, I guess is what we mean. 9-6 is a fold. If it's a deuce, let's say the deuce of spades. 9-6 is a fold. Let's say it's a queen. 9-6, partially a call, gets really close, I guess. You know, let's remind ourselves of the run out here. A running queen apparently gets a little bit closer, but I would say probably not a good spot in general for us. Like, I guess the takeaway from this that I was discussing during the breakdown is this hand is less to do with having the best hand, and it's just more to do with having the correct equity. So when we run through this hand, even in this extreme example, so our opponent bets 6, which like we said, this doesn't exist. They're betting 4.5 instead of 6. Even when our opponent bets 6, the computer has still ascertained it's a call. But again, that's just pure equity. So, you know, when we did the calculator math, we have almost exactly the correct odds to call, assuming all of our outs are live. But with the addition of the 4 big blinds that go in afterwards, pretty much every time, it becomes, you know, it becomes a pretty easy way to play. So this is less to do with like, you know, this guy could still have bluffs, and this is just to do with like we're just gonna have the best hand enough. I guess the other cool opportunity is for us to call the turn. Let's say we call the turn and they check the river and they just end up having just complete error. You know, that happens too. That's not ridiculous. Anyway, that's a wrap for today's study sesh, guys. We're still grinding. We're still making progress. We are still fighting, okay? This year has been a slog. We are definitely not performing as well as we should, or I believe we can. I think we're playing very well in general, but we do need to see one of these big EV upswings here. We just need a little help from the deck, and I think we can get close to something respectable in terms of chip EV, and hopefully somewhere towards breaking even. At the moment, we are down dollars on the year, playing $25 spins. We've been doing very well in other arenas of poker, of course, but in this particular challenge, the 10,000 game, $250,000 challenge, we need to do a little bit of work. The cool thing about spin and goes, doesn't take much. You run hot for a little while, you can win a bunch of money. It's we're down a fair few buy-ins at this point. We've recouped a fair amount of it from rewards. However, we are still learning a lot about the game, and we're still actually getting experience through the repetitions that we have here and the method that we're currently using with the study. So with no further ado, guys, I'm going to sign off. I might stream this weekend / tomorrow / whatever. I'll let you guys know on social media. And if you don't already follow me, give me a follow at NickWalshTV. I've put some links in the chat now. If you guys follow me on my socials, I'll ping you when we go live and you won't miss a beat. All right. I'll keep you guys updated. I love you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye for now. Good luck at the tables.